Chapter 1, First Glance in the Rain. Rain in Seattle always brought something new with it. Sometimes a memory, sometimes a stranger. The cold winds, the smell of coffee, and rows of bookstores made this city a haven for hearts seeking warmth. Daniel Walker, 27, ran a small inherited bookstore tucked in an old part of town. His world was quiet, filled with books, memories, and silent evenings. Until one day when a girl walked in during a rainstorm. Blonde hair damp from the rain, blue eyes full of quiet wonder, and a worn notebook in hand. "Hi, do you have Sylvia Plath's poetry?" Daniel looked up and replied gently, "Sure, second shelf to your left." Her name was Emily Grace, a literature student at the local university. Chapter 2, Books and Conversations. Emily began visiting regularly. Sometimes she'd buy a book. Other times, she just came to talk. Daniel started to notice little things. How she always smelled like vanilla, how she tilted her head when thinking. One day, as he made coffee for both of them, he said, "You come here so often, I feel like writing a book about you." Emily laughed. "Only if you promise to give it a happy ending." Their connection deepened, not loud or rushed, but slow and sincere. Between poetry and shared silences, something beautiful bloomed. Chapter 3, Confession of the Heart. One chilly night, they met at a coffee shop near the waterfront. Daniel brought her a hot cocoa. Emily looked nervous, her fingers shaking slightly. "Daniel," she said softly, "I don't know if I should say this, but I think I've fallen for you." He looked into her eyes for a moment, then whispered, "You're not the first poem I've read, but the one I always return to." For the first time, Daniel felt truly alive. Chapter 4, The Turning Point. But joy doesn't come without trials. Emily revealed that her mother, who lived in New York, was unwell. "I need to move back. My family wants me to marry someone. Someone stable from the business world," she said, avoiding his gaze. Daniel's heart sank, but he didn't argue. Instead, he said, "Love isn't always safe, Emily, but it's always true. If your heart is still with me, I'll wait, no matter how long." Emily held his hand and whispered, "Don't forget me." Chapter 5, Days of Silence. Daniel stayed in Seattle. The bookstore ran as usual, but his world felt empty. He began writing a short poem for her every day, saving each one in a notebook he called Letters to Rain. The days turned into weeks, then months. Then, one rainy morning, an envelope arrived, her handwriting. "If you're still there, I want to come back. Not to the bookstore, but to you." Chapter 6, When Love Returns. Emily came back. Her mother had recovered, and Emily had made her choice. "I don't want a perfect life. I want a real one. And that's you, Daniel." Daniel gave her the notebook filled with poems. "You wrote all this? For me?" she asked, tearfully. "Every single word," he said. "Because you were never gone. You lived in every word." Epilogue. You're the one. A few months later, they were married in a small ceremony by the lake. Daniel renamed the bookstore to Grace Walker Literary Cafe. Now it was filled not just with books, but with music, coffee, and love. On rainy days, Emily would still tease him. "I still can't believe we met in a bookstore." Daniel would smile and reply, "I always knew. The last page would be you." The end. A simple but timeless reminder. True love may drift, but it never disappears. When it's real, it always finds its way back.